Today we're going to be making a box plot by hand using the 5-number summary. The data we're using is on page 110 and we're going to use Susan's grades. So the first thing I need to do is find the 5-number summary on the calculator. We've done all those steps and you can see in the right hand corner the results. So for Susan, the minimum was 6, Q1 was 7.5, the median was 8, Q3 was 8.5, and the max was 10. So when I want to make this by hand, the first thing I need to think about is the number line. So I'm going to start at my lowest value of 6, and I'm going to go up to my highest value of 10, and count by ones because these numbers are super close together. So I don't need all this extra space on my number line, so I'm going to get rid of that. Now I need to use those values from the 5-number summary to make the actual box plot. So the minimum is going to get a small tick mark at 6. So I'm going to go to 6 and I'm going to draw a little tiny tick mark there. The lower quartile, or the 25th percentile, Q1, is 7.5. So I'm going to draw a longer line at 7.5. The median is 8, so I'm going to draw a line that's that same length as my second line at 8. Q3 is 8.5, so I'm going to draw a line that is the same length as the previous two at 8.5. And my max is going to get a teeny tiny tick mark like the first one at 10. Now I have to put it all together. I'm going to connect those 3 longer lines, and that's going to form the box. And I'm going to connect the smaller lines to the center with just straight lines to get my whiskers. From here we can talk about the description of the distribution for this box plot. So I know that I always have to include my 5-number summary. So I can write that my minimum equals 6, my Q1 is 7.5, my median is 8, my Q3 is 8.5, and my max is 10. But there are some other things that I can talk about when I'm looking at a box plot as well. One of them that you should always include in a description is the IQR, or Interquartile Range. The IQR is always going to be Q3 minus Q1. So we would say 8.5 minus 7.5 gives me an IQR of 1. We can also talk about the range. The range is going to be your max minus your min. So 10 minus 6 gives me a range of 4. When looking at this box plot and talking about the shape, we can either say that it's skewed to the left, skewed to the right, or symmetric. So clearly we can see that this is symmetric because both sides look like they are a mirror image of each other. The last thing we want to talk about is whether or not there are outliers. We can remember that outliers are unusually high or low values in our data set. So they would show up on a box plot as a really long whisker on either the upper end or the lower end of our graph. We don't have anything like that here, so we would just say no outliers.